Good afternoon and welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and I'm a gorilla in the wrist. Today we are looking at the PAGANI design PD1719. This is the Doxa Sub 300 Homage. So let's find out if it's any good. So before we launch into the specifications, let's just do a very quick walk around of this watch for you. Clearly this is Pagani's attempt at a Doxa 300 Sub Homage. Well, let's have a sort of wander around. In terms of the dial itself, you've got that beautiful but vibrant orange colour, along with the various bezel markings. But the case itself is brushed on the top, but then fully polished on the sides. The crown is screw-down crown branded with Pagani's logo, and there's a coin edge bezel all the way around that bezel. The watch comes with a really nice domed sapphire crystal, and the hands are really nice. I'm not quite sure how you describe those. They're like posts but with arrow indicators on the ends. However, we can't give Pagani any credit for any of that. We can give them credit for having a really good photocopier, because this is a very close homage. The bracelet is a beads of rice style bracelet. It looks quite nice actually. It does hold together. The inner element of the bracelet is highly polished, with the outer elements brushed. And the look is quite pleasing actually. It's got a pretty decent branded Pagani design clasp and two safety pushers, and is actually, we normally moan about the things where they cut corners. The bracelet actually, and the clasp, they haven't cut the corners. Only 3 micro adjust, but it is micro adjustable, and it has just fairly standard push pins for adjusting the bracelet. And in terms of the back, we have a nice looking turtle logo, 300 meters of water resistance, PD1719, and stainless steel. Too windy out here. Still, stay still, you better. So let's talk a little bit about my gripes with this particular watch. I'm going to start off with the bracelet, which, whilst in itself isn't terrible, there are some bits of it I really don't like. So the first one is that there is a really significant gap between the first set of links and the end links themselves. To be honest, it kind of has them all the way along, but at that very first one, they are quite noticeable. So not a big fan of that. The other thing is that actually the polished side, can't quite feel it now, it is a little on the sharp side for me, which again I think is disappointing. My third gripe with this particular watch is actually to do with the listing on AliExpress, where Pagani Design makes some frankly ridiculous claims. So the description of this watch suggests that it's shockproof. Is it shockproof? No, no, it's not shockproof. Also, that it has an auto date function. Let's have a really good look. Can you see the date on that watch? Nope, me neither. And various other claims on there, which clearly are just untrue. So I don't like that. But my biggest real gripe about this watch is about the loom. So you will have seen the loom shot a few minutes ago. You will have noticed that loom shot is remarkably short. And there's a good reason for that. That the loom on the hands disappears really, really quickly. And bear in mind, this is supposed to be a 300-meter dive watch. And my experience of what I've seen of the loom so far is that you would be in complete darkness. Certainly for the hands, you may well be able to see the loom on the markers, but you won't be able to see what hands are pointing at what. Once you get below about 25 meters, you're going to need a torch, to be honest. And now I know that's always been a weak spot on Pagani designs, but in this one it is more noticeable than some of the others I've seen. So really, to bring that to your attention, the loom on this watch is pretty poor. So one of the things I like about this watch, I have to say I love the colour. It's incredibly vibrant. There is something kind of joyful. This, I think, is probably a summer watch. I'm not sure looking at the depths of winter has quite the same impact. But it does, that colour really does have a warmth to it. I also think that dome sapphire crystal on there, which isn't going to show very well on here, but actually is just really, really nice. It looks, it gives a little bit of distortion around the edges. It's a nice looking watch. And clearly it's got an NH35 movement in it. Therefore you're looking at something that's going to be reliable and will last for a very long time without any services being required. And the 300-meter water resistance would be good, except for the fact that the loom is so terrible you'll need a torch when you get below 25 meters. They do need to do something about that. However, I think you have to give them credit for trying to get it at 300 meters. It does have a screw down case and a screw down crown. Therefore, there's no reason to believe it wouldn't be substantially waterproof. And if I'm absolutely honest, I'm not convinced I could get to 300 meters down anyway. I know that's not what it means, but I don't think I go serious diving enough for that to be a problem. And if I was, then I would probably go and get the original, or I would wear something with a little bit more light to it. So yeah, those are the things I like. Okay, so we've done the goods and the bads for this watch. You've looked at the loom, we've done some outdoor shots. Let's try and sum up where I think we get to with this one. So this is a rarity for me. Normally the watches that I review are ones that I purchased and really liked, and I was really, really looking forward to this one. So I bought it in the 11/11 sales, um, and it was a Christmas present. So I didn't get to open it for another 7 or 8 weeks, and therefore I had sort of built up some anticipation. I was really excited to see it, um, and I think on balance, I'm slightly disappointed. So I think for me, it does it do its job of being an homage to a Doxa 300 sub? Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't look bad. It's not a bad looking watch. It's interesting. However, the loom is terrible. I'm not a big fan of the bracelet, as I said. Um, it is a little bit sharp. And for me, there's enough sort of negatives in there that puts me in a quandary about whether I would recommend this. I think if you can live with those negatives, then I would recommend it, but be aware of what you're getting into. If the things like having a decent loom on your watch is important to you, and for me, I think that's probably my biggest disappointment with this. If that's your thing, if you like a really good loom on a watch, then this is not the watch for you. Now, I've never held a Doxa Sub 300. I don't know what the loom is like on it. I'm imagining it's better than this. If you can live without the loom, then actually for what you pay for this, I paid about £80 for it. For what I've paid for it, I think it's good. I'm just hesitant. I've become very used to San Martin watches and the quality of loom on the San Martin dive watches, which clearly this doesn't come anywhere near. So it's a disappointment there. Is it a reasonable disappointment? Maybe I've been spoiled. I've just kind of got used to a particular amount of loom and look, and Pagani Design doesn't have it. And it is a shame because I have seen their more recent offerings seem to offer a much better loom. So for me, this Gorilla, I'm going to have to score this as a 6. Um, Other than that, let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. If you didn't like the video, please by all means tell me what you would like me to be doing. I'm always up for a bit of constructive criticism. Other than that, just to wish you an excellent rest of the day and hopefully see you in another upcoming video. Thanks very much for your time. Thanks for seeing it through to the end. Take care.